Baltimore City's top cop resigns in the face of federal tax charges. Daryl D'Souza was on the job for only 76 days, and now the search begins for a replacement. WJZ is following this unfolding story tonight. We start with Rick Ritter, who has more on D'Souza's decision to leave the department. Rick.
Well, Vic, there's no sugarcoating this. City leaders are calling it a major setback. They say it's a disappointment and embarrassing for all of Baltimore. Look, this is a guy that many people believed in. They thought D'Souza was making significant progress, but now for the second time in just months, the search is on for another commissioner. A punch in the gut for Baltimore City, 2.5 months after being sworn in.
Congratulations.
Daryl D'Souza is out as police commissioner.
It's sad for him, it's sad for the city. It's a distraction away from what we need right now.
The move comes just days after D'Souza was hit with federal charges for failing to file his taxes for 3 straight years. That led to a public apology, followed by a suspension, and now his resignation. WJZ, the only station to track down Mayor Catherine Pugh, who initially expressed her continued support for the city's
Mayor,
top
how you
cop.
Doing? Can we get your thoughts on the commissioner's resignation?
I've accepted his resignation. I'm running late. I've accepted his resignation.
Were you surprised?
There were a lot of surprises.
D'Souza climbed the ranks after joining BPD 30 years ago, taking over for former Commissioner Kevin Davis, who was fired in January. He took over a department plagued by corruption and a city grappling with consistent gun violence.
I think that we had it going in the right direction. We had someone that understands the city in its totality.
Councilman Brandon Scott points to the vetting process.
The mayor's office has to do that kind of stuff. They should be doing full-fledged background checks as if that person were running for president, and that did not happen.
Scott added the structure of the department is broken, and the city needs to learn from this mistake.
We should be saying that we don't want to approve a new person until they commit to structural change, until they commit to making it a local agency, until they commit to having a board with civilian oversight.
One that's in desperate need of stability, with 9 police commissioners since 2000 alone. And the mayor says a national search is now underway. Gary Tuggle, he will serve as the interim commissioner. The FOP, they put out a statement today saying they hope the mayor finds a replacement quickly, adding that their members deserve consistency in their leadership. Mary, back to you.
Rick, thank you. Well, many Baltimore community activists and residents are also reacting to D'Souza's sudden resignation. George Solis is live in West Baltimore with that part of the story for us. George?
Mary, people here in the Penn North community say it's a major blow they didn't see coming. Meanwhile, community activists we spoke with say it's also disappointing, but they remain committed in their mission to reduce crime in the city. Word of the sudden resignation of Baltimore City Police Commissioner Daryl D'Souza is hitting hard with some of the city's community activists.
I thought the man was doing the best that a person could do in that chair.
Baltimore Ceasefire 365 organizer Erica Bridgeford says, though as short as it's been, D'Souza's leadership has been making an impact, citing a reduction in violent crime. She's also one of many who is having trouble understanding the decision after he was federally charged with 3 misdemeanor counts of failing to file his taxes.
It was disheartening to me that something like this is something that pushes him out.
D'Souza's resignation marks the end of a 30-year career with the agency. D'Souza, who rose to the ranks, speaking with WJZ just days before being officially sworn in as commissioner.
I move quick. The pace I move in is really, expedited.
Wow. So it was a surprise.
Other community leaders say, as disheartening as the news is for them, they're now waiting to see who picks up the mantle.
We look for someone to pick up the banner and move it forward.
At least one community leader agrees if there's more to be discovered, then perhaps a resignation was the best course of action.
If he had some personal matters to address, that would be the right thing to do.
People in the Penn North community also reacting to the news. Many of them say it comes as a big surprise.
It changes a lot of things and perspectives in our neighborhood because we really truly rooted for him.
A lot of people liked him. He was out in the community. He wasn't sitting downtown or wherever his office at or riding around. He was out in the community because he is trying to make the city better.
D'Souza, referenced by many here in West Baltimore as the people's commissioner. Clearly many still wondering, and the lingering question is why he chose to resign. Many now turning to interim Commissioner Gary Tuggle for leadership until a permanent commissioner is named. Live in West Baltimore tonight, George Solis reporting for WJZ.
George, thank you. And the interim Commissioner Tuggle sent out a message to the entire police department today, saying in part his focus is on crime, the consent decree, and moving the agency forward.
Despite shakeups in the Baltimore Police Department, an independent panel will continue its review of Detective Sean Suiter's death. A spokesperson for the police department and members of the independent review board say that the suspension and later resignation of Police Commissioner Darrell D'Souza did not stop the panel's process and progress as well. The board is expected to review the Suiter shooting and the department's investigation and handling of the case. The review is expected to take between 90 and 180 days.